What's up, everybody? I want to welcome you guys to this video. This video is going to be part one of a dumbbell and resistance band workout series. This series is designed to help you build muscle and strength with only the modalities of resistance bands and dumbbells that you can do anywhere at home or at the gym. That's going to be very convenient for you, that will help you build the lean muscular physique that you want. And in the first part of this series, we're going to go over a pull workout. It's a workout that's going to really target your back and biceps to help you build muscle and strength in them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, to start out, we're going to begin with the dumbbell single arm standing row. And the dumbbell single arm standing row really isolates the pulling muscles in the back to maximize the development of it. Using dumbbells to row each side forces each side to work independently, helping you recruit more muscles to stabilize the row to get better back and upper body development. The dumbbell row also allows for a greater range of motion compared to a T-bar or a barbell to better develop muscle and mobility in the back and upper body as well. The main muscles you're going to target in the dumbbell single arm standing row is going to be the lats and the biceps and the muscles through the upper back. And some key form tips you want to keep in mind as you perform your dumbbell single arm standing row is, first, you just want to really make sure you keep your elbows from flaring out to the side as you row the weight up. As you row up, you do not want to row the dumbbell straight up to your chest, but instead aim for your side pocket as you row. This will help engage the lat better. You also want to try not to use too much momentum and thrusting movements to get the weight up. Focus on squeezing the back and lats through each rep instead. This will give you much better results with your dumbbell single arm standing row. And we're going to do 5 sets on these, and you want to shoot for 10 to 12 reps. So choosing a weight that you can do 10 to 12 reps with that's also challenging, that's what's going to give you really good results in building muscle. And after you finish that, we're going to go to the next exercise. All right, next we got the resistance band lat pull down. And the resistance band lat pull down is an exercise that works various muscles through the back and upper body. Lat pull downs are great for just building overall strength and muscle in the back, but will also build proper posture during exercises such as squats, deadlifts, as well as other athletic movements, and just strengthening the upper back and lats. That's what makes this exercise really effective. Using the resistance band as an alternative way to perform the lat pull downs works well too, because unlike a conventional lat pull down, the resistance band allows you to work each side independently to be able to contract and activate the back and lats with an even more effective contraction that the resistance bands will help you get. And the main muscles you're going to target in the resistance band lat pull down is going to be the lats, the mid and upper back, and the biceps as well. And some key form tips you want to keep in mind is, as you pull the resistance band down, to be sure to really keep your core tight and pull the resistance band down to the shoulder / top of the chest level. You also want to keep your elbows pointing down as you pull and really squeeze and contract the lats and upper back through each rep. And also at the bottom of the rep, you want to really hold and squeeze the back and lat. This is going to give you a much better contraction of the muscles and will keep the muscles under tension for longer for better results in muscle development and strength. And on these resistance band lat pull downs, we're going to go 5 sets of these. I want you to try to go for about 12 to 15 reps, somewhere in between there. And after you get done with that, we'll move to the next exercise. All right, next we got the resistance band bent over row. And the bent over row will be very effective at adding size and strength to the back, because the bent over row variation puts you in a hinged position, gives you added benefits of increasing core and lower back strength, as well as stability through the trunk and the spine. Strengthening those stabilizing muscles will help you perform better, as well as decrease your risk of injury, making the bent over row an excellent exercise for just overall back development. The main muscles you're going to target and work in the bent over row is going to be the mid and upper back, as well as the lower back, the lats, and the core. And some key form tips you want to keep in mind when you're doing your bent over rows is you really want to make sure you keep your core tight and engaged through the full range of motion to prevent your back from rounding and decrease your risk of injury. You also want to make sure that as you bring the resistance up, to be sure to not bring your body up as you pull. You want to keep your back and neck neutral and in a bent over position through the whole range of motion. You want to keep your elbows from flaring as well and keep the emphasis on the back to avoid injury. And you also want to make sure you keep your knees bent during the row as well. You don't want your legs to be super straight because it will place unwanted tension on the low back and give you a weaker base on the lift. And on these bent over rows, we're going to do 5 sets. I want you to shoot for 10 to 12 reps on these bent over rows. Then after that, we'll move to the next exercise. All right, next we're going to have the standing band pulls. And these standing band pulls, they're going to be a really good exercise that you can do to help you really develop your back. The standing band pulls are going to be super effective compared to other back exercises because the exercise brings a unilateral component to it, meaning it's going to isolate one particular side in the lift, and because we're standing in it as well, it will incorporate more of the core and even the lower body to a degree to help stabilize yourself as you bring more muscle groups into the lift to more effectively sculpt and build muscle. The main muscles you're going to target in the standing band pulls is going to be the mid back, the lats, and the biceps. And some key form tips you want to keep in mind as you're doing them is, first, you want to focus on your starting position. You want to get into a solid squat, embrace your core to be fully stabilized, and come out until your arm is straight out and you can feel the tension on the lats. Also, as you pull, you want to bring your elbow straight back, keeping it by your side and past the rib cage. It's going to give you a really good activation in your lat and back. You want to keep from using too much momentum and body thrusting to pull the band to you. You want to keep that tension on the direct muscles we want to work, and you will do that by avoiding those thrusting movements. And on these standing band pulls, we're going to do a total of 5 sets, and I want you to get about 12 reps on these. Then after that, we'll move to the next exercise. And to finish out, we're going to do a bicep superset, starting with the dumbbell hammer curl. And the hammer curl is a curl variation that will be very effective at helping you build better and stronger biceps and arms. The hammer curl variation, unlike other bicep variations that really puts more of an emphasis on the short head of the bicep or the bicep peak, is going to really put an emphasis on that longer head and forearm. So it's just going to help you build a more complete bicep, hitting some of those other areas and sections of the bicep that other curls will not hit. And some key form tips while you're doing your hammer curls is you really just want to keep from using too much momentum by swinging your arms back and forward too much to get the weight up. Doing that will help keep the tension on the bicep throughout the whole range of motion on the curl for better bicep development. You want to keep your elbows from flaring out as you curl up and squeeze up as well. And you also want to really make sure you really emphasize that squeeze and the contraction of the biceps at the top of the curl, and be nice and slow on the eccentric or downward portion of the curl. This is going to help really activate your bicep and keep it under tension for a good amount of time to really maximize the development of it. And on these hammer curls, we're going to do 12 to 15 reps. And then after we get done with that, we'll move to the second part of the superset. And on the second part of the superset, we're going to do these resistance band behind the back curl. And the behind the back curl is a similar variation to the dumbbell incline curl. This variation of curl is known to be one of the best for really activating the bicep complex, because you'll be able to get a greater range of motion throughout the movement, and it will keep the tension very strong throughout the whole range of motion as well, which will be a huge advantage for growing the bicep complex. Some key form tips when you're performing your behind the back curls is, again, you want to keep from using too much momentum to get that weight up by swinging your arms. You want to make sure you're only using and contracting your bicep to get the resistance up. You want to keep your elbows back too on this behind the back curl. You don't want them to move too far out to the side. You also want to make sure that you squeeze and contract your biceps at the top of each curl. Remember, as you're doing your curls, you want to really make sure you're really squeezing at the top and being nice and controlled on that eccentric or downward motion of the curl to better activate your bicep for better results while you're performing your curls. And on these behind the back curls, we're going to do 15 reps, and we're going to repeat this superset for 5 sets. And on this superset, I want you to take no longer than 30-second breaks between these two exercises as well. So going from the dumbbell hammer curl, 30 seconds, right to this behind the back curl for 5 sets to finish out the workout. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this workout. And before I get you guys out of here, I just want to give you guys this verse. And this verse is 1 Corinthians 10:13, which says, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it." And I want to give you guys that verse, man, because in the same way, we're training our pulling muscles with these dumbbells and resistance bands. Also understand that you may be, incurring some resistance in your life from things that may be pulling you away, either from your relationship with God or from goals and things that you may have aligned for yourself through the God-given gifts and talents and dreams that God has put in your heart. And man, I can tell you, I know personally how hard it can be when you have different things, whether it be addictions that you're struggling with, whether it be your flesh pulling you into sin that ultimately keeps you away from God. I know all about it. It is a struggle and it is so hard, but I just want to give you guys hope that whatever it is that may be giving you resistance, whether it's in your relationship with God, whether it's in, pursuing the dreams and goals and passions that you may have, to put your hope and trust in God. Do not lose faith. Continue to wake up every day, go after those things, continue to, even when you don't feel like it, continue to pursue those things, continue to pursue your relationship with God, because He has never left you. He's going to always be with you. He's going to be there to walk through you, through these challenges, through this resistance that you may be seeing, because it's through Him that He will give you the wisdom, the power, and also the discipline and courage to be able to stand up to these things, look at them in the face and go through it, run through it, and ultimately not even just make it through, but become even better and use all these things to help you become the person that God wants you to be. So I just want to give you guys that encouragement. If you are struggling with some resistance that's pulling you, man, keep going through it, attack it, don't run from it, and keep going, because God is with you and God is certainly for you, and He will not ever leave you or forsake you. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, definitely be sure to leave a like. Definitely be sure to comment too, man. Any questions, feedback, concerns, would love to get any and all of that feedback. So leave all that in the comments below. Definitely be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification as well, as I'm always uploading new content every week to help you transform your physique, your health, your wellness, and your faith through the foundations of fitness, nutrition, and a relationship with God. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that new content. Definitely be sure to check out some of my other content as well. Again, this is part 1 of this series. I will certainly leave links to all the rest of the parts as I continue to, upload them and share them with you guys throughout this series. So I will leave a link where you can see this whole playlist of dumbbell and resistance band workouts below, as well as some other content that I think may further help you in your fitness and wellness journey. Again, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you in the next one.